as Mr. Raj Sharma, President ICRA, and so many participants, I am told, from actual startup as well as venture capitalists or angel investors, consultants, and all my friends present in this hall. I just want to share something before I start telling my thoughts. Probably be cautious that you may not find much value in which जिस पे मैं बोल रहा हूँ. The reason is, if you have experienced in your school days, you have been told that you are going for giving a test, and test is objective type, and all of a sudden you are told that no, it's a subjective question, you have to answer. So what kind of a student will face the problem? Okay, and that too, you are not sure what is the subject. You see, you are told that it is a science subject, and you are not aware it is physics, chemistry, or math. So again, you land up in trouble. So that's exactly the same thing happened with me, and the responsibility is Mr. Raj. He kept secret till that night. I was just knowing that a startup conclave is going to happen. That's all. No idea what kind of audience will be there, what is the theme, what is the topic. So when I came in the morning, I just asked him, so you are speaking before me? Yes, sir. Okay, fine. Then I will be at least know about something what the context is. But when I just got as a first take conclave and etc., take a startup conclave, and it is Delhi chapter out of this 5 series what he has planned. So I was just making my mind, okay, I will say something like this, something like this. And all of a sudden I am finding that Raj is already speaking about all those things. So, for example, unicorn or valuation or the challenges you are facing, finances, all those things, then again it came to my mind, whatever you were thinking, it is now gone. So what will you do? Anyway, that's just some sort of anecdote. I thought I should do it before I start my thoughts. And let me congratulate Mr. Raj and his team of ACRA for organizing this conclave, and rightly so, they have said this, take a startup conclave. I presume that the main focus is technology-based startup. Okay. In India, as he has rightly said, so many 52,000 startup is already registered by last July 2021 report, or say 85 or 84 unicorn, etc., etc. Most of them are either fintech or e-commerce or SaaS based. That is the stark reality. And technology based startup has a different challenge, as he also mentioned. Not only raising fund, but you have to find the customers. So I would like to, when speak about, I will give you examples also. And by the way, I am also new to this entire setup. I am also learning, and learning by talking to you guys, visiting project sites, and etc., etc. That kind of learning which I have gathered in last 4 or 5 months, 2-3 months has gone due to COVID. Now I have started moving out. That's a really eye-opener for me, I can tell you, from a policy maker perspective. I also interact with many people. One example I give, as you said about customers, how to find customers. I just went last week I was in Vizag, and we were considering a project by one startup again, Orange Koi, that's the name of the company. they are going to produce in initial phases that all those equipment like scissors and etc. required for medical operation and operative purposes. So again, I am a generalistic. I am not a technocrat or something like that. I am a true bureaucrat. So I asked, भैया बना तो लोगे, but इसका market size आप बेचोगे कहाँ? So what he told, sir, 80% of the market of this particular component is captured by two firms. One is Johnson & Johnson. World over, it is not India. Even India they are supplying. And one is Smith something, I'm just forgetting the name. I said, then you are going to challenge this huge multinational giants. So therefore, if your products, or for example, because this is some sort of a niche product. Why I'm giving this example? If someone is thinking from a startup perspective and some product which is to be launched in the market, you must remember the fact, like in this case, if I am a doctor, I will be more reluctant to use such an equipment or such a scissor bolo ya jo bhi, where I am not confident enough of the quality which I am already using some, because it's a क्योंकि हमारे एक ऑपरेशन से किसी की जान भी जा सकती है और वो एक रिलेक्ट और this is natural, it is not that. So very first and foremost was that you have to have the same quality at least. If you are not bettering it, at least you must get the quality parameters and controls as to, it is applicable for all. If you are entering into take a startup with manufacturing sectors, if you are manufacturing something, you have to be sure that your quality should not compromise, because if you compromise the quality, then it is very, very difficult propositions. Then I said, okay, fine. So since you are a startup, you are SMEs and all, Government of India has a policy, and other state government also has a policy that mandatory, that is called PMI, the mandatory purchase from Indian startup. Maybe some of you might be aware, I think during this course of 2 days, I am sure all government policies etc. will be discussed with you by eminent speakers on the subjects during the sessions. So you can try to take advantage of that fact. If you get yourself registered on e-portal or e-GEM, whatever we call GEM portals, then you can get preferential order if you are manufacturing in India, startup or SMEs or MSMEs. So that kind of policy is available. Some of the policies and many other ministries is now working on that called PLI, the PLI schemes. Okay, so that's true for those companies which are going to engage in a you can say import dominant products. Means that product I am importing from India. For example, I was yesterday only, day before yesterday, we met Honorable Minister Mansukh Mandavia ji, and our idea was to do something regarding 2-3 aspects of under his ministry. He is controlling 2 ministries, Ministry of Health and Public Welfare as well as Chemicals and Petrochemicals. So I had an idea, in fact my secretary also had an idea, why not to do something regarding chemicals. You probably may be aware that this is a sector where around 80 to 90% we are importing, and maximum import is from China. So we said, can we jointly do a program called, let's say, select 75 chemicals, because 75 years of our independence everywhere. So it is minimum 75, and let us time frame. It is not that open-ended. Select 75 weeks. And do that 75 weeks, can we make Atmanirbhar on this 75 chemical and start manufacturing in India? Can we do that? So this was the basic idea with which we went and met Honorable Minister, and immediately the fallout was yesterday Secretary Chemicals and Petrochemicals took a meeting calling all their associations of chemicals and petrochemicals, and we have discussed and said, okay, fine, let's. You must also understand the fact that from a policy maker, which I believe and I always try to implement it, policy if you are making by sitting in a AC environment, if takers is not there, that policy is not conducive, not suitable. So I said, in this has to succeed, then please involve the industry. Ultimately, they are going to make the products. Maybe established manufacturing or any startup can come or SMEs can do that. So idea is, I told, fine, we have an ecosystem today, as Raj has said, that last 5 or 6 years, in fact it started with 2016 to be very precise. Again, before I come back to that, let me tell you, his organization was formed in 2014, you told me. And this word unicorn, probably you might be aware, some of you, by some investor in US called Ellen Lee. He is a venture capitalist. His formed, I'm just forgetting his company's name. He has coined this word in 2013, and by that time, probably India had hardly any unicorn, maybe 1 or 2, God knows. So you see, 14 there came, 16, that 16th of January, which now we have from this year onward, we are now going started celebrating it as Startup Day. The first Startup and Stand Up India program was launched by Government of India, followed by various initiatives. Either it's a Mudra scheme for rurals or Aspire. Many schemes are there. I'm not going to bother with this statistics at this moment. The point is, the environment is so conducive today that ultimately this year it has resulted around 44 or 45 unicorn conversion in 2021. Prior to that, it was 11 in 2020, some 10 is 2018 and so on. And this year we have surpassed UK. UK has probably 39 or 40 unicorns. We are 85, just behind US and China. China has around 275 or 80 unicorns. And US is leading by 400 plus. But the rate in which we are growing, that is phenomenal. So that should be a, I can say, comforting factor to you that ecosystem in India has changed from policy perspective, policymakers as well as thinking, because people are more risk taking. In fact, I remember when we passed out, and Raj was absolutely correct, in 90s, our aim was to get some job. I also passed from IIT, so aim was to get some job or do for civil services. Hardly IITians were thinking of taking a risk, and to my surprise, and probably I am the lucky guy, that the first agreement I signed as the Secretary Technology Development Board to support one venture capital, again from IIT Delhi, called BotLab Dynamics. And you must be aware of what kind of a spectacular event they have created on 29th of January after beating retreat parade. So the entire project of BotLab Dynamics was, seed funding was by DST, we funded them, IIT Delhi, their FITTS funded, that is also Government of India funding. Then again, I am not only bureaucrats, I am from Accounts and Finance Service, so one of my friends from audit said, how much you have paid for this? I said, fine, what will you know? What is the purpose? So I understand this question. So I said, okay, fine. We have given them support of 2.5 crores. DST has given 1 crores. And IIT Delhi has supported them 2.5. Rest they have managed from their own sources. So roughly, let's say 6 crores. So I give them another statistics. You see, UP government has done a similar kind of drone show, light show in October last year. by celebrating 1857 event or so in that 75 years. And it is told, I am not confirmed, but that they have paid 4 crores to Russians for this show. I said, entirely, this entire 1,000 drone show organized by them was funded by Government of India or say IIT, let's say taxpayers' money itself. But this show was free, completely free to Defense Ministry, free to India. So what have we created? We have created you can say a company who is now flooded with orders. Not only from government, from private. So now Gujarat is calling them for Gujarat Summit, Vibrant Gujarat. Somebody is saying, so they are flooded now, so this company is created and they are doing, and I hope they will do wonders. Similarly to others, as an agreement I signed again, a startup. So technology, now I come back to my own, because again I always tell, now my people are here, they have called me, say, if you are here as a secretary TDP, if you are not talk TDP, then nothing will work. And probably it's a real interest to actually startups or SMEs who are here, who wants to do something big. They have the idea, the concept is mind to market, M to M. That's a simple concept. And this M to M, mind to market, you travel through various level of technology readiness, because it is a startup, so I can take this liberty to tell you. So something is in your mind, so you need at that point of time seed money to fructify your idea. You need research and to proceed, and accordingly initial investment will come to you and all those things, blah blah. And suppose you have reached to a level TR7, that your product prototype is almost ready. By the way, all through your journey, there are organizations under Department of Science and Technology who will help you. It is NAB or ACRB, there are. Problem is many people is not aware of it. Even Technology Development Board exists. Outside Department of Science and Technology, I was not knowing. I had developed certain good product. I was when Deputy Jute Commissioner in Calcutta or Secretary National Jute Board with IIT Kharagpur. But that time we didn't know there is a board exists which can support those startups and support those entrepreneurs. So now the system is, if you have gone to that extent, we are here to support you, fund your project to the extent of 50%, except working capital that can include land, include building, plant and machinery, etc., etc., so that you can establish your production facility. You produce in the market, we give you 1 year moratorium, and then you sell your product and give you very simple rate of interest, 5%. We charge nothing, alpha 0.5 or 0.2 to 0.5% royalty till you pay back my money, that the loan which I have given to you. We invest in equity, and Raj was absolutely correct. We found there lots of hesitation, especially from a startup, to dilute their equity and to give the equity they prefer loan. Fine. So this kind of support my own organization gives, and we have funded many, supported many startups. One example I have already given you. So any of you have you have reached to that level and need your support, please come to us. So now coming back to that petrochemical example, I said let us create a system where suppose I have identified certain chemicals and there you need certain research for the purpose of either process innovation or product innovation. So that component, once that is done, that component will be funded by DST or support to a DST. Then the business, it is already there, so we are supporting you, and let us make a commitment to the nation that these 75 chemicals in next 75 weeks we are going to make India Atmanirbhar. From there came the concept again, can we do it 75 drugs, can we do it 75 medical equipments, because you all know all high-end medical equipments we are importing. India is the 4th importer in Asia after Japan, South Korea. and 28th in the world. So all those high-end medical equipments we are importing. Then prompt came response from those industry associations. You see, if I produce this, then probably my market is only 5% in India. We are exporting this. Then, fortunately, the Secretary Chemicals and Petrochemicals were earlier Additional Secretary Health. She told, look, when COVID started, we didn't have anything, neither PPE kits, nor this mask, nor your ventilator, etc., etc. Now we are not only Atmanirbhar on this products, and we are exporting it. So if we can do it, we can do it for other products also. So this entire ecosystem, and I am sure the kind of speaker you will get during the day, during the sessions, and probably the biggest challenge all of you, as Rajesh said, is financing your concept, financing your idea. That is the biggest problem, the biggest challenge a startup faces. In fact, when we interacted with them, they have very good concept. Even Bottleneck Dynamics, I can tell you, they have concept everything we know. But they don't have the financial guy in their system who knows that the kind of, you see, the financial projections or you see financial data to present before, say, TDP or any bank or where you want to take loan. In absence of that, if some angel investor or venture capital come to you, they will try to extract more advantages from you. TDP, obviously, we are the government organization, we can't do that beyond our framework, but they do. So the biggest challenge for them is how to get the money, how to manage it, and so that it should not get exploited now. And you will be astonished, you will be surprised to note when with our TDP's evaluation of projects, many a times people has come and said, no, then I will take, venture capitalists will come and fund them. I give you an example, my lab. We have supported them for their kit program and said, okay, I will give you a fund, but as a grant, because it was a COVID time, so we wanted that kit to be developed very quickly. So you need not give me back my money, so you, suppose I give you, let's say, X amount. So X amount equivalent kit you just give to various state government, so that my money is paid back and the society gets benefit out of it. The first franchise they took, and thereafter venture capitalists came and said, please don't go to TDP, now I am funding you. It is happening with me with many such projects, because if you come to us, we do not charge you either for your project evaluation or for your later on implementation. And this project is evaluated by a very expert, eminent person on that field itself. So, for example, if it's a technology related, I generally take professors from IITs. If it is a medical related, AIMS or some, if environment related, some institute like NERIS, and also we take that expert. And this expert gives you hand holding till your project is completed, your plant, machinery, everything. And they go do project monitoring, and everything is free. So we all, TDP wants the charges of related to it, so you did not pay anything. So even for, obviously I should not say this, but if you want your project to be evaluated, any startup, you are most welcome. Please log in my website, log and give your project. Your project at least will get evaluated and validated by TDP. Whether you take loan from TDP or not, that's a different matter. But with that valuation, for evaluation rather, you will get loan from market. So I think I have taken lots of your time. I don't want to further bother you much because your sessions are already scheduled. With these few words, I will really congratulate you, Ikra, Raj and Interest team once again, and I hope that this conclave with all eminent speakers, which I am told, and your active participation in next 2 days will probably, it is very timely organized this conclave, or And probably, I'm sure, I think lots of good positive development ideas and your queries, etc. will be answered, and you will be going here with full satisfaction and doing something for the nations. And remember Honorable Prime Minister's mantra, सबका साथ सबका विकास, लास्ट में उन्होंने अभी ऐड किया सबका प्रयास. सो आपका प्रयास, हमारा प्रयास, इनका प्रयास, सबका प्रयास मिलके यदि देश का कुछ हम लोग भला कर सके तो करना चाहिए. धन्यवाद. थैंक यू. जय हिंद.
Thank you so much, sir, for your words of encouragement and wisdom. And so thank you so much for taking time out and joining us here today. I would request the President ICRA to kindly honor the Honorable Chief Guest with a memento.